Selamat sejahtera, nama saya Govinash, lelaki merupakan dan nombor matrik saya adalah 09DEM20F2032. So, hari ini saya akan membentangkan tentang lab 2 iaitu heat treatment. So, saya akan menggunakan website ini untuk menerangkan tentang severity of quenching. So, objective: to study the hardness of medium carbon steel samples and their microstructures under the following conditions: as received, annealed, normalized, water quenched, ice quenched, oil quenched. Apparatus used: 6 medium carbon steel samples, furnace at 910 degrees Celsius, tongs, Rockwell hardness testing equipment, beakers, oil and ice quenching mediums, optical microscope, polishing machine with abrasives, belt grinder abrasive paper, flat glass plate with wooden framework, electric hot air blower, cotton nitrile reagent, Rockwell hardness testing machine. So for the first step, obtain 6 identical samples of medium carbon steel and keep one sample aside as the control sample. So this would be the control sample. These are the other samples. So now austenize all 5 samples for 30 minutes at 910 degrees Celsius. So we have to switch on the furnace and turn the temperature to 910, just like so, and then open the door of furnace and insert all of the samples inside of the furnace, just like so. Okay, so after that, close the door of the furnace and we have to wait until 30 minutes. It's done in the furnace, and after 30 minutes we should switch off the furnace and take all of the things. After switching off, we have to remove all the samples from the furnace one by one, and the first sample will be going into the oil, and the second would be in water, and the third in brine. As for the fourth, it would be resting at the room temperature, and for the fifth sample, it will be in the furnace until the temperature in the furnace is 400 degrees Celsius. So after a while, after the furnace is in 400 degrees Celsius, we will open it and take the sample, put it at the room temperature as well. And once all the samples are cooled to the room temperature, each sample is polished and microstructure is observed under microscope as shown in the subsequent step. Okay. So why is the sample austenitized for 30 minutes? It is for uniform authentication. Okay, so for the step 4, obtain a flat surface on the specimens by belt grinding. So this would be for all of the samples we have left at the room temperature. So support a polished paper of 1 of 0 fineness on a flat glass plate. Polish the specimens rubbing in forward direction only. So you have to do just like that. After that, move to the next finer paper, 2 of 0 and 3 of 0. Once the scratches on the specimen are uniform, while changing from the one paper to another, the specimens in your hand should be cleaned, free from the abrasive of the previous paper, and the specimen turned through 90 degrees so that the scratches from the previous paper are at right angles to the scratches from the next paper. So for the sixth step, finish polishing the specimens on 4 of 0 abrasive paper. Wash hands and specimens. So just like so. After that, for the sixth step, do the fine polishing on the disc polishing unit. So we will be using the disc polishing unit to polish the samples. Okay, so after fine polishing, clean off the polished surface of the specimens with water and dry it with electric hot air blower. After that, the specimens with 2% nitrile reagent by swabbing for a few seconds. Wash and dry. Nitrile is the name given oxidation etchant solution composed on aqueous nitric acid and ethanol. So we will be using nitrile 2% reagent and swabbing it for a few seconds on the sample. So after that, the ninth step is to examine the specimen under the microscope and observe the structural features. So which medium gives the most severe quench? It should be the ice brine. Yeah, it's the ice brine. So these are the structural features after we observe it with the microscope. So this is for the normalized and ice quench. This is for the oil quench, and the last is for the water quench. So for the 10th step, after noting the microstructural features of the sample, perform the Rockwell's hardness test using the cone indenter for all 6 samples. So this is the cone indenter, and these are the all 6 samples. So the wheel is turned until the specimen is in contact with the indenter and the pointer of the smaller dial gauge reaches the red dot, so that minor load of 10 is applied. So move the mouse on the wheel just height. Just like so. Okay, so now the red dot is at the 10 kg marker. So after that, the major load is set and the motor is switched on. The hand lever is kept in the load position for 15 seconds. Read the settings noted down using scale C. So just for 15 seconds. Okay, now it is done. So after 15 seconds. So these are the values, and these are the values for the all 6 samples or specimens. Yeah. So the total load under 50, the Rockwell hardness for the S receive and the nothing on it is 15, and the annual 37, normalized 41, ice quench 60, oil quench 55, water quenched 55. So after that, the observation occurs and relate the microstructural features and obtain the Rockwell hardness number. So yeah, this is for the annuals, and this for the normalized, and this is for ice quenched, and and this is for waterfront. So that is all for today for me. So thank you.